Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Well, everybody, welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise show, morning coffee show, where we got Hillbilly, kjcowboydan, when you, hello.
What's up?
What's up? Hillbilly looked like he wasn't ready.
Well, I got my coffee, so yeah, I'm ready.
He's ready. He got his coffee. We got KJ with a frowny face down there. Why so frowny?
Oh, I can't breathe today. Oh, the humidity is so thick that they just started selling humidity around here as cheese. That's how thick it is.
Jeez.
Wow.
Jeez.
Jeez, the humidity's cheese.
That's a lot of
just like the jokes that we have here on the morning coffee show.
Cheesy. You know what they say. It's not easy being cheesy.
That's right.
Man. It is a Monday. Episode 37, season 1 of Super Fast Tortoise Morning Coffee Show. We're having a blast, chilling out. We got everybody rolling in, and I'm excited to say it's been a good weekend over here. Hope it's been a good weekend for you.
Yep.
Oh, and does anybody know a good kidney place to sell your kidneys at? Hillbilly's looking. He wants to buy a couple boxes of Final Fantasy. We broke.
Nah, I think I'm gonna pass on Final Fantasy this time. I want to buy a box, but I doubt if I will because that price is way too much.
Yeah, the rent's too damn high.
Yep.
Like looking at the prices that people are pushing, and these are secondary market prices, right? These are people selling things for more than MSRP, and holy cow, like this wouldn't fly if nobody was buying it, but people are buying it. They're purchasing these expensive prices. Holy cow.
Yeah.
All I can say, I hope it's worth it.
Well, I don't know. I was watching Moist Critical talk about the scalpers. It's getting pretty bad, even on the Pokemon side. And, you know, Moist Critical is all about the Pokemon stuff. And he was talking about like how he's having a hard time getting his Pokemon stuff because of all the scalpers.
Oh yeah.
And so he's been obsessed about watching these videos about scalpers getting in fights with each other and everything while trying to get cards and everything out there.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and I've seen things like that for Pokemon firsthand. Like a long time ago, probably been a couple years ago. My wife and I went to Walmart in the morning, like early in the morning, and they changed where it is now, but where they had the trading card stuff, there's this lady who's the stalker from what do you call it? When someone sells stuff at a store, but it's not the store.
Some people who are at the store, like the display
Contracted.
people. The people who just set up the displays, right?
No, not the set displays. I can't think of the name. Where like if you were to take your KJ merch and sell it at Walmart, what would you be?
Contractor.
No, there's a term for it. All right, a distributor.
A distributor, yes. So yeah, there's a lady who's a distributor for the magic and Pokemon stuff, and they had this Pokemon kit, those things in the boxes. And there was this guy we saw standing there, watching her stock up the shelves. And when she was done, he loaded up his cart with all the stuff she stocked and walked out.
Wow.
No, he didn't literally walk out. He bought the stuff.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
still, that's just uncalled for. I mean, heck,
Yeah.
other people wants to play the game. Why?
It's not about that. Other people want to play the game, but that has nothing to do with the scalpers and the people who are raiding shelves. That's all about money. And they when it comes to shelf raiders, is what I like to call them. Because you don't know half the shelf raiders or scalpers are actually collectors or players, pretty much. But a good majority of the shelf raiders, if you're dropping $5,000 on clearing out a display minimum, and you're causing fights like what you're seeing over at the Costco when the Pokemon stuff were released, and also at Sam's Club when they released the Magic the Gathering stuff. Big old huge fights over these cards, children's playthings, and people are fighting over children's toys. Just putting it out there, a product that is designed for 13-year-olds. People are fist fighting in Costco's. People are attacking distributors, people who are setting up displays at Target. Most Targets have already announced that they're getting rid.
Be right back. I forgot to turn off the
I didn't even know you were here, dude. Didn't even know you were here.
He literally just got added to the screen. He's like, I'll be right back.
Well, one thing that I've noticed around here, like for example, Walmart. I'm just going to use Walmart as an example. I go to Walmart. It's hard to find Magic because everybody's buying the Magic. Pokemon,
my Walmart doesn't even carry it anymore. Walmart doesn't carry any TCGs anymore. They just got rid of their comic books, their baseball cards. They even got rid of their pop figures.
Okay, I'll finish what I was saying. All right, I go to my Walmart. Can't hardly find Magic because Magic sells off so quick. Now, Pokemon, I find it all day long at my Walmart.
Where?
And you said people are fighting over Pokemon cards?
Oh, yeah.
My Walmart, you can find Pokemon all the time.
Well, it's just your area.
Yes, your area.
Yeah,
it's like there's been news reports of people fighting over Magic content at Costco when they got the special decks and stuff. They had pictures of people going crazy over Pokemon stuff, and yeah, like where the term resellers and scalpers, because it's a mix. It's a very competitive market because they buy it for $13, they flip it for $26 plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous though, but
yeah, it is ridiculous. And the truth is, as much as we don't like it, it is free game.
It is. And here's another thing, and people aren't going to want to hear it. As long as there are people in the Pokemon and Magic community who's willing to let scalpers get away with this, as long as there's people in the community who's willing to let them get away with this. And, I'm not willing to let them get away with it. Are you still purchasing from unauthorized people? Are you purchasing your cards from somebody who's not Magic certified? Right. If you're making these purchases of these cards and they're not from a reputable dealer, you're letting them get away with it. Especially if you're the only way you can get these cards are going through a scalper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what they do. They scalp up what they can to clear the market. So for people in that area who want that product, FOMO or whatnot, they'll have to buy from them.
We know a couple of people in particular in our community here in the Magic community who swear up and down by using a non-certified distributor.
Oh, yeah.
We know a couple of them, and a couple of those people have recently bitten in the backside because they don't use a reputable Magic the Gathering distributor.
Oh, yeah.
And the people who support those creators who don't use reputable Magic the Gathering distributors. The same with Pokemon. We know quite a few of those, which goes into today's topic on what I would like to see from Magic the Gathering is a more reasonable way to say, hey, we're not gonna put up with this anymore. And we're going to make sure that, we get some way to prove that we can get our product that we are paying money for.
Mm-hmm.
And
I myself think there should be a cap in these stores that's selling Magic, and Pokemon, and all that. Put a cap on that. You're only allowed to buy a certain amount.
They do. A lot of them do. Target has a cap. Part of it, but here's the deal: their employees are told not to fight with these people who are coming in and scalping and buying everything up. They're told just to be peaceful, let them buy it, even if they cause a scene. Because they don't want to have a scene. They don't want to have to deal with particularly places like Target, Costco. They don't. Their people are not prepared to fight you for your addictions.
Right.
And a lot of these scalpers are going to come in fighting, and there's a lot of video of it. We can pull up multiple videos right now of people fighting over Magic the Gathering cards at shops, people fighting over Pokemon cards at shops, and even at local mom and pop shops. People are getting into fist fights over cards. It is redonkulous. And as a member of any community, I would be ashamed just to be associated with a product that encourages such behavior.
All right, we need to say hello to people in chat. Let's say hello to people in chat. We got Mrs. Hillbilly. Miss Hillbilly.
Nice. Hello, Miss Hillbilly.
Right.
Mrs. Hillbilly.
Yeah. We got
No.
That's right. Lone Wolf 44. What's up? Gonna play some Magic this week. Gonna have some fun. Yeah, we got KBG. This set looks weird. It looks like an anime set, an MTG set, and it doesn't fit in other MTG sets. I don't know. It's definitely different. You're talking about Final Fantasy.
Yep. Speaking of Final Fantasy, they released the card for my commander that I want to get.
Nice.
And he's a transforming commander.
Transformers. Robots in disguise.
Yeah, he starts out as court mage, and you get I think it's 8 land you got to tap to transform him.
Nice. We got Meta Monk opening portals, traversing the universe to visit with us. Hello. Ooh, we got Elijah Castle, board wipe. Whoop, whoop. Use those. Elijah, what's up? All right, trying to catch up with chat too. We got KFG. That's because Pokemon is the most desired TCG out there. It is a very good game. Yeah, people like it for sure.
Yep.
Keep in mind, Pokemon has sold out only in the past few sets. Your Walmart might have old sets. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
That's true.
Manamuk says 3 of the 4 Walmarts in my area stopped selling Magic. But to Hillbilly's point, plenty of Pokemon in the toy aisles. That's right. Lone says, I'm thankful where I am at. There's never really a fight for any of the products. Usually have a decent amount in stock. It's like my Walmart, they sell Magic, but it's hardly ever in stock. Kevin G says, what I expect for MTGs to become like Pokemon. People collect these Universes Beyond sets, but most people don't play the game anymore. That could be.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
Oh,
I go to my comic book shop, and there's always more Pokemon games being played in their game room than Magic the Gathering. You know, there's more interest in adults who play TCGs when it comes down to Magic the Gathering than Pokemon. But I think definitely Pokemon's still like got a huge player base, even though it's mostly kids.
mm-hmm. I see MTG Gaming Bob's in chat. MTG Gaming Bob, what's up? And he says he's curious about everyone's take on Final Fantasy spoilers.
The only card I really oh sorry, go ahead, Hillbilly.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only card I really cared about was my commander, and it got spoiled relatively soon, so I'm happy about that. In fact, if I pulled it up and sent you a link, can you show everyone Tortoise?
Well, what card is it?
Kefka Court Mage.
All right. Oh, all right. Never mind. Yes, you can send me the link. I had the spoilers pulled up earlier, but I closed that window.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Well, my thoughts about the Final Fantasy is they're okay, but some of the mana costs on this Final Fantasy cards are too much. As fast as the game is now, the mana cost a little bit high there for the cards.
Elijah Castle is asking, is Japan facing the same issue? I don't see enough anything on the news about that, so I don't know. I don't know if they face the same issue.
You know what? I don't think when it comes down to the scalping, Japan, I don't think they are. But Japan also is like they're very like the way that the people are there. They're very conservative about the way they hold themselves. You don't see people causing a scene over TCGs like you do in the United States. You know, like also Japan, like they have a TCG for everything. Unlike what I do know is, unlike the United States, when it comes down to the Pokemon stuff, they never have an underprinting. While you'd think, oh, they overprint Pokemon, the Pokemon community would tell you otherwise because they have hard times getting their cards.
Collector Invest, what's up? Welcome to the show. And I'm eating 2 cans of sardines with lasagna hot sauce. Nice. A Louisiana hot sauce. Nice. That sounds good.
Sardines.
Nice.
I'm gonna pray for Collector. That's right. Hans. Hey Hans, what's up?
What's up, Hans?
My new laptop comes by this weekend. Whoop whoop.
Nice.
There's scalpers in every TCG, which is BS. That's right. What's up, Real Wiz? Whoop whoop. Yeah, they're like, look. As long as there's a collector's market for something, there's always gonna be a group of people hunting down for the grails to resell.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I sent the card to you.
I know. Give me a second. I'm trying to catch up.
Now, as far as this Final Fantasy, another thought on that I'm having is, they're great cards. Great cards. That's what's so far. They even have a mailed creature in it, which is awesome. However, that mana cost issue is what it's getting me.
Like that meld mechanic. Such a wasted mechanic in the set.
I like meld.
You like meld?
Yeah.
Like in Commander, meld's almost useless unless they put it on a card with partner. Where if you play a partner, you get a search up and tutor the other part. It's really hard to pull off.
Right.
In Standard, I can see it being more effective.
Yeah.
But I like playing. It's like saying I like playing creatures with extra stats.
Yeah. I mean, it is a lot easier in Standard than Commander. And as far as mail being in Commander, I would not have it. Because your chances of drawing that second card with the mailed, that's pretty, slim.
Yeah.
But as far as Standard, it's not. I mean, it's not that bad.
Right. The Game Bob says, seems like many folks are living off hopium. Like opium, but opium. right now. They're going to spoiler to better cards later, but I'm doubtful. I hope they, yeah.
I hope.
It's like party. Yep, party's a weird. Yeah, I get what you're saying about the mill mechanic. I like milling, not off the top. I like sending things to the grave because my grave is like the second hand. That's a good way to play any PCG like Magic.
Yeah.
And your fan is a little loud there.
Oh, mine? Okay,
Yeah.
then go turn the last one off.
Yeah, Jesus, Meld is one of the best mechanics Magic has ever done. Super sweet and based.
Yep, I agree. I agree with that, Kevin G. As far as in standard, but not in
There, it should be off now.
Yeah, that's better.
Meld's
Meld's an okay mechanic. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, you need part 1, part 2, and hopefully get part 3 put together.
Yep.
All right. Collect and invest. Time for Taco Bell and White Castle. Now you're speaking hillbilly language. All right. Collector, you're a brave man. That's right. Han says, real, I prefer the tiny bones approach. Your favorite is a segundo moano. I don't know how to say that. TCG dude, what's up? Imagine spending thousands on Magic product and be disappointed by it. Not Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Kib G, are you trolling? TCG dude happens all the time. That's all right. All right. Hold on a second. See my Yu-Gi-Oh deck, I send big dragons to the grave and summon them from the grave. That's a good way to play Magic too. Graveyard recursion. But they try to even it out. So really quick, Mugenfool wants to share. There you go. He wants to share his card, which is Kefka Court Mage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I'm gonna be using as a commander if I ever get the money for it.
Yeah, it costs 2 generic. Grixis, blue, red, black. Legendary creature, human wizard. Whenever Kefka enters the battlefield or attacks, each player discards a card. Then when you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way, each opponent, if you pay, each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Transform Kefka into villain as a sorcery. Kefka becomes a 5/7 creature, flying. Whenever an opponent loses a life during your turn, you draw that many cards.
Oh, this
is very slow, but very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be an instant kill when target, because it is pretty good for commander. I don't think it'd be good for standard just because of that dang on mana cost.
Yeah, that's why I said it's gonna be my
keep sticking to that. I'm still sticking to that.
Oh yeah,
I can't get off of that because I'm so used to the cost of the cards being cheaper, playable because they're cheaper, but they seem unplayable just because of the mana cost.
Oh, we got a Hellwheeler. Why is my thing looking so weird? There we go.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
There we go.
Hellwheeler,
Here we go. Hey. I had to run and grab milk.
Milk.
I'd made my coffee, was all ready to drink it, and there was no milk.
Aww.
And I'd set myself up for a coffee with milk. So, quick run to the local store.
Quick run.
That happens.
Well, if you get you a cow, you won't have to run to the store. You just have your milk right there.
I mean, having a cow just sat, outside ready to be milked at any point for my coffee would be perfect.
Yeah,
Nice
I don't want to deal with that kind of W word.
Dude, the only thing that has changed about Magic is complexity. Yep. Then they're trying to go back to less complexity. What I am even looking at, the art is bad. Let's start the week off with positivity.
Yeah.
That makes me think of Michael Jackson.
Now, some of the art I like, but
The real
can't get off of this.
realist is I like to see an MTG deck that does that. How much setup does a deck like that take super fast? Well, you need Entomb, Exhume, and Dark Rit, and you can do it in turn 1.
Oh, that reminds me. I was watching Antiques Roadshow, right?
Yeah.
They had the guy that had the original art from Dark Ritual in a card signed by the person who draw it.
Nice.
Yeah, for according to the Antique Screw Show, it's going for be worth $500.
Mm-hmm.
So that was neat.
That's neat. Han says, unless I get a mana flood starved, I'm almost win for me. Nice. So MTGA gives me some bad DS hands. That's true.
That is true. It does that sometimes.
All right. You caught up with chat. But yeah, so I was looking at the Final Fantasy spoilers earlier during HILLBILLY show. I went to the website, looked at them. I'm actually more impressed with the reprints of the set for what they're getting for Commander. I mean, come on, you got Dark Confidant, you got Nyx Bloom Ancient coming back.
Nice.
And I'm waiting to see more things enticing. What turned me off the most is Meld. Like, I don't care if you like Meld. Meld's a shitty mechanic. It is. Like, you can get some powerful powerful combos out of it, but that's if someone doesn't remove your combo piece. That's if someone doesn't interfere with your piece. Like, you get a Meld mechanic, you go cast the other one and the other piece, and someone's like, respond to kill spell. Well, you just lost the Christmas land. It's too much work to get that bigger creature when you could just summon an Eldrazi, you know.
Mm-hmm.
TCG, dude, you're right.
Mugenfool and I are going to be at the old folks' home looking at Final Fantasy Magic on the TV. Remember that? That's right.
Back in my day.
My new PC comes. I'm going to be going live again on Twitch, and we'll be doing Ranked Historic. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Oh.
But yeah, look, I'm not upset with Final Fantasy as a whole. I just look at Final Fantasy and I see a lot of missed opportunity. Like, did you see the lands, the adventure lands? That's going to confuse some people because you have adventures on spells. You got adventures on spells. Then you're going to have adventures on land.
Yeah, that is weird.
Hmm?
I do mean that is weird. I mean, just like they got a land that will mill your, I think you or your opponent for six mana, just to cast the mill on the land, or you play it down for a blue.
Collective Vest is like the mono black god in Final Fantasy. Nice.
I have to check that one out, but yeah.
Kevin D. Yes, bet your butt that the money doesn't involve around assembling a meld for a video. That's right. It gets used unlike many other mechanics against the odd cells. Hey, whatever.
One thing I do like about the Final Fantasy series is they have every Sid from 2 to 16. It has a separate card. It's a little weird, but it's nice.
One of the cool cards I saw from that was the New City of Brass card. It's a land that taps to add a mana of any color and pings you damage. It just tapped unless you fulfill some requirement. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, my favorite Sid from the games is Final Fantasy VIII because he kind of looks like Robin Williams.
MCG Game Bob, Adventurelands are overcosted weak. Yeah, that's what's weird about them. You know, it's like they didn't want to overbreak the lands. And they're called? Cities or towns?
Yeah. Towns.
So, you know, it's like, look, I'm not a deep dive lore fan of Final Fantasy. Like, I don't know all the lore behind it. I don't follow the story enough to be like, oh, this is a great story.
They all have. Sorry for interrupting, but they all have their own story.
Yeah,
Right.
each game is a different storyline altogether.
Right.
They even have spin-off games since the original Nintendo before they went over to PlayStation, from there to like every other console that they release on now, including computer. They've had many different storylines, and even the remastered version they added to the storyline. So and then you have like just like all the other video games where they're lacking in storyline, there's novelettes that you can get, that's Final Fantasy stories, that like novelettes right there. You know,
Right.
you want a good deep dive into Final Fantasy, I can recommend some good reads.
All right. So I know all the way up to Final Fantasy 10 and 12, that era, they changed the mechanic of the game, like from turn-based to instant turn-based combat damage, like the action. But like they brought sagas back into the story, right? In the game, which sure, we're fine with sagas, whatever. They're just the heart of Magic now. Like I'm not a huge fan of sagas, but I play them.
Yep.
You know where they fit. But like I was hoping for some innovation in this set. Like Final Fantasy still today is known as a turn-based game, right? And it's also known for its mini selections in the game. So I was hoping they would play upon that aspect of mini selections. Like, you know, modal cards, modal enchantments to say, oh, whenever you attack, choose one of these abilities that hasn't been chosen yet before, or if this is the first time you attack, choose one, da-da-da. Like, they could have stacked different things like that. They are bringing artifacts and equipments in, like you'd expect, but like, I wanted, like, as I looked at the spoilers, I don't get that video game feel that I was hoping to get from Final Fantasy, because I've played some Final Fantasy, and I watched a lot of Final Fantasy played when my brother played it, Final Fantasy 7 through 10. But like what I loved about the game is not really being showcased in the spoilers.
Right.
That makes me wonder, and I was thinking about the same thing with the Marvel stuff. How much of their hands do they have, the Final Fantasy people have in on the creation of these Final Fantasy cards? And how much, same with the Marvel stuff, how much does Disney Marvel have in of their hands in the creation of those cards as well? Because seems to me like certain things that Final Fantasy fans are expecting, and this has already been complained about on multiple channels that I've seen, that that it doesn't have the Final Fantasy feel that they want it to have based off of spoilers.
Right. Oh man,
You know, like you wonder what the team is like, okay, well, you know that Marvel's going to have a heavier hand in on the on whatever their IP does. Final Fantasy, I'm not sure that their hand is over at Square Enix. I don't think their hand is going to be as heavy into the creation of the stuff.
Right. Like, you know, would have been an awkward Magic card. I would have fit the flavor of the game. All right. An awkward thing, right? And this awkward thing is, what if they made a card that summoned a big old creature just for the turn, and it made your opponents combat that creature, that particular singular creature, for the turn? It's like it summons like a 12/12, and that 12/12 attacks alone, and your opponents have to combat that creature. Weird mechanic, but like just like the games, you're walking around and you accidentally stumble onto a battle, just like Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's an aspect we loved about the game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, sorry to cut you off, KJ.
No, go on.
I was gonna say, if you're going to do that and like the summons, you'd have to do it with one of the summon characters. I don't know if they showed off on what's her name. They showed off Yuna, which they could have done that with. It starts with the real. I have to look this character's name up, but while I'm doing that, you can go on, KJ.
Oh, I was just going to make a statement that they did leave out one important game mechanic in Magic the Gathering. In every rendition, and I've just noticed this. All right, you have to do the wild Pokemon appears when you place down a monster card. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the character's name is Rydia that they could still do a summon with, but I don't know if if she's gonna get a card or not.
You also don't raise chocobos from an egg. Nice. I don't know why it's nice, but yeah.
No. Definitely trying to figure out a way to use another card, I guess, maybe. I don't know what Magic's doing there. I think they're trying to take their existing game mechanics and make it work with a game that's not their game. And that can be pretty hard, and got to give it up for the people at Wizards of the Coast trying their best to take game mechanics that don't work with their own game.
I see. Kev G says, why don't MTG have cards that must be attacked? One Piece has a card that must be attacked and destroyed before you attack anyone else or anything else. I don't know. They kind of have battles, but I don't know why they haven't touched that particular topic. Maybe it's too singular of a topic. Planeswalkers you can attack. Then some planeswalkers you should attack, as soon as they're out. So there's a mix of that mechanic in the game, but not as hardcore as you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, my PC broke before the expansion. Oh no! And I know it's base game, so I'm dying to play D4 again. Oh, nice.
Cool.
Play some D4. Whoa. Hey, Dark Master, what's up?
Hey,
Master.
Dark Master.
All right, we got Kev G says, like it would be worded, this card must be blocked to Fable, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of different things. And Final Fantasy, like it's like there's gonna be cards I'm interested in, like that equipment tutor card, that creature that tutors for an equipment. I definitely want a copy of that. There's gonna be cards in the set I want, but nothing that's gonna want me to try to talk the wife into spending too much money for a booster box or pack.
Fair.
Like singles, always keep out for singles. Like I said, they're doing some saucy reprints. Some of them are not too expensive, like Bob. I say Bob, but I'm thinking of Dark Confidant, which is a good card. You got Nyx Blumation, which is going to be a nice reprint. And you're going to have some fun cards. So you're going to have some cards. And I hope they keep rolling with the reprints in this set for some of these cards. But to keep on the topic being what do we expect from WOTC is, if like WOTC doesn't have control over the expensiveness of what's going on with the set. This is all outside of their reach. People are getting the product or getting the stuff and they're pushing for more money. All right.
Right.
But
yeah, I agree to that to a degree.
Right. Well, like I understand what you're saying. Like they do have MSRP. So, they do have that to say, well, the base price should be this. And I get where you're going at. But like it's really up to the people in this case to decide if they want to buy the product or not. And apparently people are buying this product. Like I did not know Final Fantasy would have this overwhelming of a wave for people to be like, I'm going to use my rent money to buy this box.
Oh, I saw that coming a long ways away. I saw that coming a long ways away with Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has a particular following. Now, a 3-inch plastic figurine of what's her name? Friggin' A. Mugen, help me with this character. One of the characters.
Which game? Which number?
She's the one with the witch. Has the purple colors. But a little 3-inch figurine of her is almost $600. And people are willing to pay that kind of money in the Final Fantasy community because it's Final Fantasy product. And this is not a numbered figurine. This is just a plastic figurine that is existing in the retail shelves of collectible shops.
Right.
And they will pay $500-$600 for a 3-inch figurine of a anime girl with their boobs hanging out.
I mean, they will. Knowing the anime community,
the closer it is to Final Fantasy VII or higher animation accuracy to the character, they're going to even pay more. And Final Fantasy heads, they're willing to spend bank on
yeah.
product. And I'm not judging it. I'm not judging. You spend your money how you want. I'm not going to spend $500 on a 3-inch plastic Final Fantasy figurine.
Yeah.
And also that has $300, $600, any kind of half my rent money on a child's plaything.
Yeah, I get what you're
Alright.
saying. Really quick, I want to ask Bob, what are you disagreeing on? Because you usually have something good to follow up that with.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people here give a blank about neon ink chocolate? I really don't care.
Who
I
cares?
don't really care about those cards either.
But some people are gonna be like, "It's the money card. Let's go pull for it."
Yep.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are super excited about these cards. You know,
All right.
Well, it is. They do have a serialized in the set, which is cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And look, there's gonna be fun things. Don't get me wrong. There's gonna be fun things about the set. There are gonna be some drow things, and there's gonna be things we're gonna disagree on, right?
Mhm.
Like there's gonna be like Meld. I don't care for Meld, but other people do, obviously,
Yeah.
right? It's gonna be like that no matter what.
Right.
Wizards kind of pushed for that since the Mark Rosewater's speech at the CDC, where he says, they look for things that give people mixed emotions. People who really love it, people who don't like it at all, and you got people in the middle. And they said that stuff sells out most because what happens is people talk about it and people advertise it for free.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I
not
myself-
exactly in those words, but that's basically what it came down to.
I myself, I like Meld, but I only like it in standards.
Mm.
Don't like it in any other format.
DCG says, I care about playing the game and enjoying it with a smile. Dare anyone do the same? I do the same at least twice a week, 3 times a week when Hellbilly's having a good day.
Yep.
Bob agreed with me that WOTC will keep increasing the price of packs to funnel money to Papa Hospital. That's right.
Oh yeah. I think that's a guarantee. I think that it's also for Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. That's safest bet. And if they didn't, it'd be a bad business decision.
Mm-hmm. Like I knew from the get-go, Final Fantasy would sell out well. Right? I did not know it would sell out to this extent. But, someone who's been in the video game world as long as I have, which is as long as a lot of people have, like since the early 2000s and stuff and before. Because I remember Final Fantasy on the Nintendo.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You had on the first Nintendo, you had 3 Final Fantasy games and a spin-off, and then you had on the Super Nintendo, I think 2 Final Fantasy games, and then they Nintendo lost the contract to Sony, and then from Sony, you had a huge handful of Final Fantasy games that picked up huge. Like in the Nintendo days, Final Fantasy did not pick up as nicely as they pick up currently.
Look, to touch on historical fact, it's Nintendo's fault they lost Final Fantasy to Sony.
Oh, it is absolutely. It is.
Yeah,
No, you're not. You're no cap. It is absolutely Nintendo's fault that they lost Final Fantasy. And I think at that point in time, Nintendo didn't care.
Right.
And it didn't hurt Nintendo, not in the short run, at least. At the time, losing Final Fantasy was nothing. Now you look back at Nintendo and go, wouldn't it be nice if you guys still had Final Fantasy? Imagine where things would be. But I think I'm glad that Nintendo no longer has rights to Final Fantasy, because look at what they did to Super Mario Brothers. Look at what they did to Legend of Zelda. They've put so many games out for Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda. Really, it's just like, I really have no interest in playing anything Mario now. I have no interest in playing a new Zelda game.
Right. Well, so brief history for those who might not know, and I love telling it, right? Back in the day when Nintendo 64 was being developed, it wasn't being developed as Nintendo 64. In fact, you might remember the Dolphin or whatever it was called.
Mm-hmm.
But Nintendo was working with Sony to make a disc connection for the Super Nintendo, like the Sega did with Saturn.
Like with the Sega CD.
Yeah. And Nintendo got scared or something and pulled out of the deal, and Sony got stuck with the CD project. Well, Sony's like, well, we got most of the system. Let's just finish it and make it what it is. And they made the Sony PlayStation. And you know what? It overpowered this Nintendo market for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where Final Fantasy got lost, because the cartridges that Nintendo used couldn't hold the game, which is why the first Final Fantasy game for PlayStation was a 2-disc CD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't actually played any of the Final Fantasies. I mean, I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 15. The main thing I know of the Final Fantasies is the music, which is just absolutely gorgeous.
Music is good.
The story, not a clue on them. I was kind of thinking that maybe if I can afford it at some point, I'll get all the remasters of the Final Fantasy 7, because everyone's told me it's like what, the best Final Fantasy or one of the best Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Six is my favorite.
So
7.
I was thinking I might get the remasters once they're all out at some point and do like I'm doing with Mass Effect, because never played the story, so it'd be lovely to find out the story.
I mean, some people are working on adding voice acting to 8 and 9 on PC.
Yeah, I think those are modders, though.
Yeah.
I think that's all modding stuff from like private modders who are trying to get the voices in there.
Yeah.
For 7, though, the reason why
yeah.
people like 7 is it has arguably the best storyline.
Right. MG Game about Bob says, as I remember right, Final Fantasy was a huge boost for getting PlayStation in the limelight. That
and it also
plus the roster of games that they had, Metal Gear Solid, Tomb Raider, and their Sony PlayStation came out swinging hard with
big time. I think because and now this is just my thought process about things. I don't know how it works, but I firmly believe that the reason why Sony rocked so hard on that whole Sony PlayStation thing is because like they already had a bunch of game developers already lined up for this project that Nintendo and Sony were working on during the late 90s. And I firmly believe that was the only reason why Sony hit really hard as it did, is because they had the backing already.
All right. Well, another thing that helped them out, like watching even for different console generations, watching documentaries about consoles and stuff. The reason why Sony did so well with games is the disc can hold so much more space. It gave developers so much more room to make better games.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a lot of the games, like Super Mario for 64, instead of having all this room to build games, they had to work around their limitations with like polygons and stuff and more to it.
All right.
And which is funny because we're talking about this because, well, first of all, I brought it up about the 64 history. And that's why when you see me, I wear my 64 shirt and my Sony PlayStation hat together. One, Coogee Dude got me those two items. But I find it very flavorful to have the competition there. But I feel in a way that Hasbro and WOTC kind of fight like that. Because WOTC wants to do their things their way. Hasbro's like, make us more money, and we get a set like Aetherdrift sometimes.
Yeah, make us more money. We are the do your homework and make us more money. We are your parents. I think that's a very apt way to look at it. I think I personally think that like Hasbro and WOTC will continue to butt heads until like one of them figures out who daddy is.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're gonna bump heads until you figure out who the sugar daddy is.
Mm-hmm. Really quick, I want to reply to Gaming Bob's thing because someone's a little history buff when it comes to this stuff. Sony would produce more grittier games that the Nintendo wouldn't, thanks to Mortal Kombat. When Mortal Kombat first came out, Nintendo and the whole debacle being sued for all the games, like was it Night something and other gory games, they wanted to be known as a family friendly system, Nintendo, that they took out the blood and stuff, so they wouldn't release games like that very much. So if you ever got a game like they're doing now, because you get mature content on Nintendo now, for the longest of time, Nintendo wouldn't do that because they believed selling family friendly games would sell more product, and PlayStation just blew that out of the water with all the great games they had.
Mhm.
Right. Well, also, you kind of can see where Nintendo was going with that. Nintendo, like Atari, who pretty much died. I mean, pretty much when you see the Atari logo, it's just software anymore. You don't see anything
Just like
from
Sega.
Yeah, you don't see anything from a direction from a company that refused to grow up with the rest of society. And unfortunately, that's what happened with Nintendo. Particularly what happened with Atari and Sega in particular is they did not want to grow up. They wanted to keep on putting out product like Sonic the Hedgehog, which
Right.
we love Sonic the Hedgehog. We love these things that they put out there. But unfortunately, without having more mature content for everybody, so to speak, it hurts you. And Disney's seeing the same thing right now by realizing, maybe we shouldn't be pushing along these political ideals, and we should be going about saying, "Hey, look, we're making a good product. We're not going to merge weird politics in with all this stuff that we're dealing with. We're going to put together a good piece of art. We're going to make our fans happy by not turning our back on the fans that are aging with us." And that's a big problem with the entertainment industry altogether, is that they see, okay, well, these people were kids in the 80s and we've been supplying to kids since the 80s, but kids don't play console as often as they play on the computer anymore. Computer games are more popular, and the numbers show proof of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hate to be the person that points this out, but kids are different from adults because adults live long enough to know what good quality is. Kids just like to eat up whatever bullshit they come out with.
Right.
Are you sure about that? Kids are different from adults. I was thinking the two were identical.
Well, the mentality of a kid is in adults nowadays. But
I was gonna say mentality, yeah. I'm not sure that one is.
Right. But when it comes to things like I remember when I was a stupid dumb kid and they came out with something cool, like I'm going to get smashed for this in the comments, but like The Matrix, I thought that was the business back in the day. The first movie, I didn't like the other two movies, but I thought that was the coolest movie ever for a long time. And like,
you mean other three movies?
What? Oh yeah,
There's
the
four.
cartoon one.
No, there was a fourth movie. They did a fourth movie. They
Yeah.
went back to the Matrix and they replaced Morpheus. They recast Morpheus completely.
Oh my lord! But still, but when you look back at movies like that, and there's other movies that are just like that we were excited about to watch, and we look deeper into than we really should have, because stupid kids mentality, we didn't really know what quality was. Now, Matrix is just a bad example to kind of bring up stuff, because Matrix did redefine media a long time, like a lot of the visual media we watched. But there's a lot of things out there that they just really get on that FOMO, or they really oversell it to sound cool. Like Transformers by Michael Bay, trash movies all the way.
But
I actually like the first movie, but all the rest are trash.
Okay. I agree. Trash movie all the way. First of all. Secondly, it's more than FOMO. You mentioned FOMO, and I have to just argue that real quick. I think it's more of dealing with people who used to be kids, and they're trying to sell nostalgia.
Right.
And nostalgia sells like nobody's business. I'm telling you. You know?
No, I'm not degrading the idea of nostalgia sells, but when it comes to being a young mentality as a kid, you just think things are super fly.
Right. But
You know?
you do. But unfortunately, kids aren't playing consoles as much as adults are. And the console generation is us. They're selling nostalgia to us. They're not selling to the kids. But they don't get that. Disney doesn't get that. Nintendo doesn't get that. Sony understands it. That the reason why we keep on getting a Grand Theft Auto is because these aren't made for kids. Most games nowadays on console, you're going to be seeing, especially on the good consoles, you're going to be seeing made for adults. Except for Nintendo.
The price of half the games nowadays, it's not a surprise they're made for adults. Like, come on, the full price of a normal game, no kid's going to be able to afford that. So you're expecting the parents anyway to buy it for their child. So in some respects, you're aiming the game at the adults to go, do you think your kid would want to play this?
Right.
Do you want to play this?
Right. I agree, but and instead of actually selling a good piece of product, they're selling nostalgic bullcrap that your kids don't want. They're selling this nostalgia that you want, not your kids.
Right.
And that's the problem with Nintendo. That's the problem with I think that's the problem with Magic these days.
That's what I was about to bring up right there. Because I think Magic's doing the same thing. I mean, that's why the IPs are being hit. Like, they're not hitting much of the newer IPs. I mean, they did Assassin's Creed. That didn't do well, but they're trying to hit hard where people are going to go. Mortal Kombat is still great. Are you talking about the movie or the games? Because the movie, the first movie is not as good as we remember, but it was a fun movie. Then the sequel was more trashier, but I remember loving that as a kid too. But the games are still good. And, But anyways, my friends, whew. I could go on more on this topic, but we got to hit this particular buzzer right here.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Woo! My hands are on fire. Hot topic today. Hot topic.
Really?
I just want to give a shout out to Mr. DJ Longhair for coming out at the end of the show.
DJ Longhair, what's up?
What's up, DJ?
Well, everybody.
Last minute pop-ins.
I love all the viewers, though.
So one thing you should take away from this conversation that we had about what do we expect from WOTC is we really expect more quality. And I know we went off topic a lot, but if you reflect on everything we talked about, you could relate it to WOTC and be like, oh, they're doing the same bullshit that everybody else is doing. You know, and it makes sense because, the trends follow the trends, But with that, we need to start getting to the shill section because we're going to start with the purple circle of mugenfool.
Hey, everybody. Oh, I feel a burp coming on. Hold on.
What a shill.
Yeah,
Trying Mugen for his burp.
Okay, I thought it was coming on, apparently you didn't.
No, it definitely is going to be a join one. At some point, he's going to have a time for when this burp will be, and we can all join in.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to show out my channel. I'm going to try to do something before my show comes out. I mean, before my game comes out. Dang, my brain is just a little mixed today.
Nice.
Just pudding. Anyway, I'm going to try to stream something for you. I have to find a game for it.
Yeah. Have some fun. That's right. All right, now going from mugenfool, we're gonna wheel on over to the cat lady. A little bit crazy because she got too many cats in her life. Like she literally plants catnip outside of her house to attract more cats. We got Hellwheeler.
Is there really such thing as too many cats? So I've got 2. That's not many. I could definitely do with a heck of a lot more if you want to drop them off. That's fine.
Well, I got
I'm
5. I got 5
can't-
cats. I'll drop them off for you.
I can't pay for the shipping across the oceans. You do have to come with the cat. Yes, that means you have to come meet me if you want to drop the cat off with me.
Okay.
And then collector investor understands we need more cats, indeed. And we need cats in Minecraft.
We
Which
have cats
we
in
are
Minecraft.
playing tonight. Well, there may be cats in Minecraft, but we do not currently have cats. So
Well,
we are
know what
playing
we're doing
Minecraft
tonight.
on the Procrasticraft server. So maybe we will go searching for some cats. Not entirely sure where in the server they are. So it could be a search for them and then fail abysmally and we do something entirely different. Who knows? It's Procrasticraft. Things are always changing. But we just have a wonder and a good fun. So if you're on the server and you want to join in tonight, come have some fun.
Collector Invest says fill the screen with cats.
Hold on. I can't quite fill the screen with cats, but I do have... There we go.
That's right.
We're
A
just
kid
relaxing.
jockey like Minecraft. That's funny. All right. Thank you, Hellwheeler. Now we're going to go to the KJ Cowboy Dan.
Hey, howdy, hey, boys and girls. KJ Cowboydan here. Like Jesse said, it is Procrasticraft Monday, where we're going to be, looks like we're going to go and try to find a village and kidnap some cats. So
I
Jesse
didn't say kidnap.
catnap, sorry.
Smile. We're just going to find a cat that doesn't belong to somebody and then give it a good home.
We're going to go and kidnap some cats. So join us tonight for Procrasticraft Monday so Jessie can get her cats. We'll fill her entire home with cats today. Don't forget, join us Wednesdays for Procrastinating Across the Ocean, where Jesse and Hellwheeler and I will be doing this Wednesday Reddit readings. We're going to find some crazy Reddit readings, Reddit articles to read. Then we're going to discuss them, and we're going to take apart where those Reddits went wrong. Join us Wednesday for that. And coming soon, MTG Hillbilly, myself, will be starting a brand new show called KJHB Radio 4750 AM. We're going to be doing talk where you can call in to our show and recommend a topic, ask us questions, or dedicate something to somebody. Keep an eye out for that. It'll be announced on the Discord servers here soon. Once again, KJHB Radio 4750 AM on the will be starting soon.
Oh, and one thing, we need to get a hold of Manjang or Mojang and ask him to upgrade the Minecraft game so the cats drop meat when they get killed, so you can make a cat farm. All right. Anyways, now going off from KJ, going to the salacious, the handsome, the very adorable Hillbilly.
Hey everybody. This afternoon I'm gonna be doing some more arena gameplay. I'm gonna try to climb that ladder this afternoon. But I'm not for sure about this, but I believe early access will be around the 3rd of June. Because the set releases on arena the 10th of June. So I believe early access will be June 3rd. And I will be doing the early access. And can't wait to play with the Final Fantasy cards. I just hope that we get some better cards. They're still releasing the spoilers. And because I'm still disappointed with the mana cost. But anyway, I will see everybody around 2 o'clock this afternoon for some arena gameplay.
Ring a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. Ring a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. Everybody is Super Fast Tortoise, and yes, I will be going live somewhere tonight. Somewhere, sometime. Probably mail day, because I'm supposed to be getting mail today.
Cool.
From Pete's Packs. But anyways, hey, we'll see what happens. Hope you guys had a good Mother's Day weekend. Hope you guys had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the show today. A a lot of stuff talking about, a lot of stuff to expect in the future. But as I'm crunching time, I want to thank you guys for joining the show. Everybody being part of the show, from KJ, Hillbilly, Mugenfool, and Hellwheeler. Thank you. And everybody in chat, you rock, you rule. I'd like to see you jump by and hang on for a little bit more awesome, more time, whatever words. But anyways, I want to remind you that you're amazing, that you're loved, that someone's thinking about you, and if you can, brighten someone's day a little, because you might be the change they need. What's up? And with that, my friends, thank you, my members, for being members of the channel. Thank you, subscribers, for subscribing. You guys all make the world a difference. And with that, we're going to hit that sweet, sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning.